It looks like Activision and Meta are both in hot water right now, especially considering the fact that the Uvalde families, um, whose I guess whose loved ones died in the school shooting that took place back in 2022, they decided to take legal action against both companies, and pretty much the suit is being filed because they feel like Activision, Meta, and both those two, corporations were indirectly responsible for what happened. And I believe the suit is also going to be against the gun manufacturer Daniel Defense because that tragedy was something that it was something that was unbelievable when it happened. And like to this day, it's very sad and heartbreaking, like because there was like, a lot of children involved and all that stuff. And for the most part, um, I don't know. Like I think the shooter had pretty much done this like days after his birthday or whatever. He had an AR-15 styled rifle that he got, I think, either during or like days after his birthday. And apparently, something happened between him and relatives, and he just flipped out and took out many people on the day of the shooting. And a lot of people are, blaming Activision because of Call of Duty. It's the biggest first-person shooter franchise of all time, and the franchise has been really big during the teens decade and the late 2000s, and within the past couple of years, it's been very big. And Meta, promotes like just about anything that's popular, and like for the most part, I believe like the suit pointed to the fact that Meta uses a cunning form of marketing that has helped to like cultivate a new consumer fan base among youths, and because of that, AR-15 rifles, have become more popular because you can, I guess, upload photos of that on Instagram. You can upload. Pictures and gameplay footage of Call of Duty on social media and stuff like that. And everybody knows that Meta is like a giant in relation to social media. So I guess the families feel that Meta is indirectly responsible for what happened. Activision is indirectly responsible for what happened, along with the gun manufacturer Daniel Defense. But at the same time, this is something that's been going on for like years now, and it seems like the more the Call of Duty franchise has gotten popular, it seems like the more stuff like this seems to happen. But I wouldn't necessarily go on record and say that's Call of Duty's fault that these things happen. Obviously, there were issues with the suspects involved with the shootings and all that stuff. Just look at the Florida school shooting back in 2018 with Nicholas Cruz. That one, for some reason, felt way more darker and deadly than the Uvalde shooting. But the Uvalde shooting was just heartbreaking because there was like more children involved, and I feel like both shootings were atrocious. I don't think one was more devastating than the other. And then you had the shooting from El Paso, Texas, that took place in Walmart back in 2019. I think the shooter got like 90 consecutive life sentences or something like that after what had happened. It's really sad, and I think the Uvalde incident is also like really sad as well. And and because of this, obviously, more people are going to be pushing for guns to be taken away or to have stricter gun laws and or something like that. But it feels like the left has been barking up that tree for quite some time, and not much has really changed for the most part. But the families are seeking like a settlement or seeking justice for what had happened to their loved ones on that day. And I don't know why, but for some reason, the Uvalde shooting feels like it happened like a lot like a while back. It happened longer than it did. Um it happened like years ago, even though it happened back in 2022. And I think that's kind of the thing that's just unbelievable about this. How much like how fast time has went by, and how there's been like so many mass shootings over the past couple of years to a point where it feels like it happened not too long ago, or it happened um, a lot longer ago than it did. But For the most part, yeah, I feel like within the past year or so, we haven't been getting as many mass shootings or as many school shootings, and that might possibly be a good thing. But I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with Activision and Meta. I do know that Activision, for the most part, has taken a financial hit because the Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 3 from last year, was a miss, and a lot of people criticized the hell out of it. And Meta's been losing a lot of money for years because people have been growing more and more unhappy with Meta in general, for the most part. And I still feel like Call of Duty is probably the most popular video game franchise of all time. It's still going to remain that. It's still going to be a household name. It's still going to be a big deal. But the families are upset. They're coming at both Activision and Meta, and you know, hopefully we'll learn more of what's going to come of this. Is this going to change anything? Are games like Call of Duty going to be harder for teenagers to access? Because for the most part, it feels like teenagers, do stuff like this because, they think AR-15s are cool or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying adults don't do this as well, but for the most part, teenagers, they do what they see for the most part. They do what they like seeing, and sometimes um, they're unable to separate video games from reality, and as a result, unfortunate tragedies like this happens. But hopefully, hopefully this is like the beginning of a process where this is not a trend among teenagers in the future anymore.